Hi there. Welcome to the SKT Technologies order taking platform. The homepage you are looking at right now shows all the restaurant clients that are on our platform. However, for now, you will only focus on Great Wall Main Street, which is this restaurant right here. This platform you are using right now was built specifically for training, so feel free to poke around and check out different things as you wish. For example, click on random buttons and see how they react. Don't worry, since this was built for training, you won't break anything. Now also keep in mind that this site was built for a 21-inch screen. So if your screen is smaller or larger than that, it may not show up in its optimal form. Alright, now let's get to your first restaurant, Great Wall Main Street. Now be careful that there are multiple restaurants that are named Great Wall. We have 3. Make sure you are clicking on the one that's on Main Street. Great Wall Main Street is a very typical Chinese restaurant located in a western New York suburb, which makes it a very good first training restaurant. In the following, we are going to explore the various parts of this restaurant together. First, let's start with the category and the dishes. On the right-hand side here are all the categories that this restaurant has. When you click on a category, its corresponding dishes will show up in the middle right here. Alright, let's now start with the appetizers. Egg roll is probably one of the most popular and well-known appetizers for a Chinese restaurant. Notice that for the dishes we have descriptions for, you can simply hover over the dish and it will show you how it's prepared and its ingredients. For dishes that doesn't have descriptions, it will either show up as no or no description at all. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with what an egg roll is, but let's see a picture. A shrimp roll is exactly the same as an egg roll, except that instead of pork pieces, it has 2 baby shrimps in it. Fantail shrimp is a deep-fried appetizer. Let me also show you a picture of what a fantail shrimp looks like. Fried wonton is a deep-fried appetizer that comes with the red sweet and sour sauce on the side. Let's see a video for how they make fried wontons.
And this is Chinese fried wontons. These fried wontons are super crispy, light, and the filling is incredibly flexible. You can add any type of meat or vegetable that you want. You can use pork, chicken, beef, turkey, lamb, whatever you want. I've got some garlic and ginger. I've also added some chopped green onions, and my main seasoning is oyster sauce. Now, because I have kale growing at home, I'm using kale instead of cabbage. You can use either. What you want to do is make sure you shred it as finely as possible, just like this if you're using cabbage, and mix well. The filling should be thick and sticky, just like this. Okay, now to make the egg wash to seal, crack it in a bowl of water and use a fork to whisk it, just like that. Teaspoon of filling. Don't put too much in, otherwise they'll burst. Dip your finger in the egg wash and paint the sides of the wonton skin. Fold it over into a triangle, just like this. Seal the edges. Okay, next thing you're gonna do is take your finger, make a little indentation on that side. Dab your finger in the egg wash one more time on the corner and fold the 2 corners together. Look how cute that is. Okay, carefully slide in the wontons, just maybe 10 10 or so at a time and fry until golden brown. When they're golden brown, go ahead and take them out onto a baking rack to let them drain. And what I'd like to do is also check the first one. Make sure that the filling inside is completely cooked through. If it is not cooked through, and if the wonton is already browned on the outside, lower your temperature a bit so it takes a little longer to fry the wonton.
Wonton in hot oil is the same as fried wonton, but after it's fried, they stir fry it again in a wok with hot oil to make it spicy. Alright, next let's take a look at Chinese donuts. It's essentially fried dough with sugar on top of it. Let's see a picture for a Chinese donuts. Next, we have crab rangoon, also known as cheese wonton, and it also comes with sweet and sour sauce on the side as well. Let's see a video for how this is made.
Cream cheese wonton or crab rangoons are basically fried wontons filled with cream cheese. Almost every Chinese American restaurant has them. So here are the ingredients you'll need. 1 medium sweet or Spanish onion, roughly chopped. We're going to put it into the food processor. Put all the onions into the food processor and finally pulse it. Remove the onion and drain. Use a sieve or a cheesecloth to drain it. Let's prepare the cream cheese. This is 1 pound or 454 grams. You can use your hand or a machine or mixer to do this. Mix it until it's smooth and creamy. Once the cheese is smooth enough, add in the squeezed onion. So this is 8 ounce or 227 grams. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar and mix. The sugar basically counteracts the pungency of the onion. For the crab rangoon, this is about half a cup or 50 grams of crab meat. Add it in and mix. Also to this, add in a tablespoon of sugar and mix. Let's prepare the egg wash. Add in 1 tablespoon of water and mix. Lightly dip the wrapper into the egg. Make sure all 4 sides are covered. Don't dip too much. Use a brush if you have to. Add in about 1 tablespoon of cream cheese onto the wrapper. Fold 2 sides together, then bring it inward towards the middle. Make sure it's firmly tight. Don't fill too much or else the cheese will come out when frying. Fry the wonton at 325 Fahrenheit or 163 Celsius for exactly 2 minutes and 45 seconds. By 2 minutes and 45 seconds, they should be golden color and puffy. So let's try them. This one's the crab meat or the crab rangoon.
Next, we have chicken teriyaki sticks. Let's see a video to see how this dish is also prepared.
Today we're going to make teriyaki chicken on a stick. I'm going to show you 2 methods, oven baked and fried. Let's get started. In a bowl, add in 4 tablespoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, ½ teaspoon of curry powder, 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper, 1/6 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice, 2 teaspoons of white or sherry wine, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons of hoisin sauce, 2 tablespoons of beet juice. This is optional, it's for color. And finally, the secret ingredient, bullhead barbecue sauce. This is what it looks like. Add 2½ tablespoons of bullhead barbecue sauce into the marinade and just mix the ingredients together. Now let's prepare the chicken. We're 2.2 pounds of chicken thighs into approximately 1½ inch in width. Pour the sauce over the chicken and mix. Let it marinate for at least 4 to 6 hours or overnight. Next, soak the bamboo skewers in water for about 1 hour or so to prevent it from burning. And since I'm going to bake it, I'm going to line the rack with aluminum foil. So approximately 4 to 6 hours or overnight, it's time to skewer. Now it's time to bake. Preheat the oven to 350 or 180 Celsius. After 15 minutes, take the chicken out of the oven. Flip the chicken over and continue to bake for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now remove the chicken from the oven. This is what it looks like in the middle. Now to make the chicken teriyaki like the restaurant, we're going to fry it for 1 minute. Heat the oil to 325. By frying the chicken, it will give it a unique taste to it. Make sure you use the pre-baked chicken to fry it. Don't use raw chicken. It will make the oil dirty. So this is what it looks like.
Barbecue beef sticks. It's essentially the same as chicken teriyaki sticks, but instead of chicken, now you have beef. Notice that for dishes that come in certain quantities, right next to the dish, there is a number right next to it, showing you how many pieces is in each order. Next, we have golden fingers. Golden fingers is basically chicken fingers. What it is just fried breaded white meat chicken. It's the same as sweet and sour chicken, but it's in longer pieces. You will see a video later for how they make sweet and sour chicken. Alright, French fries. I'm sure you know what French fries looks like, so I'm not going to go too much into that. Chicken wings. I'm sure you guys know what it looks like, but in case you don't, for Chinese restaurants, they typically serve it as a whole chicken. Let's see a picture for this dish as well. Great Wall served the chicken wings in 3 pieces per order. Next, we have the fried crab meat sticks. Let's see a picture for that as well. And then next we have poo-poo platters. Poo-poo platter is found in most Chinese restaurants, but it may go by a different name. Some call it bobo platter, or they would use the name of the restaurant, followed by the word platter. So Great Wall might call it Great Wall platter. This dish is basically an assorted appetizers, but each restaurant makes it differently because it might come with different appetizers. To see what appetizers are included, simply just hover over the dish and it will show you all the appetizers that it has. Each restaurant has 3 different kinds of ribs. Perhaps the best way to differentiate the difference is through a diagram. Let's get to that. So here is the diagram for the 3 ribs that Chinese restaurants carry. This is a very common area where a lot of our staff make mistakes. So pay attention to this section very carefully. On the left hand side here, we have the barbecue spare ribs, which has the long bone in it. In the middle here, we have slices of boneless spare ribs, so it has no meat. And then on the right side here, we have spare rib tips. The tips means it's the tip of the ribs where there is small white bones in it. So, when customers ask for ribs, you want to ask them the first question. Do you want it with bone or no bone? If they say no bone, then that's very easy. There is only one choice. So we give them boneless spare ribs. If a customer says with bone, then we have 2 choices left. We ask them, do you want it the one with the long bone or the one with the short white bone in it? If they say the one with the long bone, then it's the barbecue spare ribs. And if they say the one with the short bone in it, it's called spare rib tips. Now keep in mind, even if a customer asks for spare rib tips, you still ask them, do you want the one with the bone or no bone? Because a lot of customers thinks that boneless spare ribs is the tips of the spare ribs. Alright, so make sure you familiarize yourself with this diagram and knows how to ask questions to make sure that you give the customer the right dish. Here we have the dumplings. Dumplings are a very popular appetizer, and just about every single Chinese restaurant has them. It can be prepared two ways: boiled, also known as steamed, or it can be pan-fried. Now, pan-fried is different than deep-fried. Deep-fried is done in a deep frying machine, whereas pan-fried is done with a lot less oil on a pan. The most common filling for a dumpling is pork, which is what Great Wall has. Other restaurants may do vegetable dumplings and shrimp dumplings. Alright? Next, we have crab meat with bacon. This is a very special dish. Most restaurants don't have this. It's essentially a piece of crab meat imitation wrapped in bacon, and then it's deep fried. Chicken meatball is just like a typical chicken meatball, and it's deep fried. Again, this is a special dish that Great Wall has, and both of these are not very commonly ordered, but just know that these are available so that in the future when you do start taking orders and a customer asks for it, you know where to find them. The other thing about appetizers is that they don't individually, these dishes do not come with any rice or lo mein. Essentially, these are just meant as a appetizer. Therefore, they don't come with any rice or lo mein. Alright, that's very important to keep in mind. Now, if a customer does want chicken wings with rice, you have to make that into a combo, which we will go into a little bit later. But just know that for now, it's very important to keep in mind that as a regular order, these dishes are just appetizers without any rice. It may come with sauce, for example, the fried wonton and the crab rangoon, but that's it. It's just the dish itself. Alright? So this wraps up the appetizer section.